Don't mind me just pouring up a shot here at 3 o'clock Central Time on a Friday because things might be going south when it comes to Jalen Brunson and his free agency future with the Dallas Mavericks. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. If you want JB to stay in Dallas, like this video. We got to make it happen. MFFL's got to rally and like this video if you want JB to stay in Dallas. And if it doesn't happen, well, bottoms up. You're watching Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. We got to get you caught up on the latest Jalen Brunson free agency rumors because they're heating up. As Marc Stein just dropped a bombshell article. Go check out his work on Substack. Stein, we're going to hit you with a lot of information here, so bear with us. Here's what he had to say first. The New York Knicks are gaining major momentum in their bid to sign Jalen Brunson away from the Dallas Mavericks in free agency, league sources say. Sources say that New York's ability during Thursday night's draft to offload Kemba Walker's $9.2 million salary for next season, coupled with a growing belief that it can shed further salary to expand its offer when the marketplace officially opens next Thursday, has established the Knicks as a very credible threat. One source close to the process described that threat as very, very, very real. Here's what's clear up to this point in time. The New York Knicks are going all in on Jalen Brunson. They're clearing cap space. They're even moving a first-round pick to get Kemba Walker off their books, and we'll show some of those trades from last night during the NBA draft to make some of this happen. They are going all in to make a run at Jalen Brunson. Doesn't mean they're going to get him, but they obviously feel like they at least have a pretty good chance, and we'll explain why coming up in just a few moments. But first, let me ask you, are you worried about Jalen Brunson possibly leaving Dallas? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You tell me here on Dallas Mavericks Today if you are worried about JB possibly leaving. Look, I'll admit I'm officially concerned. I've thought for a few weeks that 92% chance that Jalen Brunson is going to remain a Dallas Maverick. I think it's 50-50 right now, maybe even less. Who knows? The Knicks are certainly doing a lot to clear up space to make this happen. They must at least have some idea that they have a chance to get him. I'm concerned. I'm worried about it. You got to at least be thinking, if you're Nico Harrison, that this is a possibility that you're not going to have Jalen Brunson moving forward. The Knicks made some trades during the draft last night to clear cap space. They traded down from number 11 to Oklahoma City to get some future first-round picks with OKC. They also shipped 13, got 13, from Charlotte briefly by sending a first and 4 seconds. Then they shipped 13, which was Jalen Duren and Kemba Walker, to the Pistons for a future first-round pick. All of these maneuvers are to clear cap space. All of them. Kemba off the books. You move out of the first round of this draft. Clears up potential cap. That is what this is all about. And on top of all that, they hired Jalen Brunson's daddy just a couple of weeks ago. You don't think they're making a run for Jalen Brunson? They are. There's no doubt about that. The question is, will Dallas be able to hold him off and convince Jalen Brunson to stay with Dallas? It's a two-horse race. We're going to find out which horse wins at the end of the day. Join Dallas Mavericks Today by hitting that subscribe button here on this channel because our offseason rumors are red hot right now. Jalen Brunson watch. More free agency news and rumors coming up because free agency starts next Thursday night. It's critical juncture right now for the Dallas Mavericks. We had the draft fully covered. We'll continue to cover this team tooth and nail every single day. So subscribe. It's 100% free. All right, I want to take a look at some pros and cons for the Mavericks for Jalen Brunson staying and going, and for the Knicks as well. We'll start with Dallas here. Pros of staying in Dallas. Number one, this is a team that's ready to win right now. They are a major playoff contender. They proved that last year, and they did that without Tim Hardaway Jr. and without Christian Wood, who's joined this team as well. So if you want to win at a higher level right away, Dallas gives you a better chance to do that. Number two, this is a tight group. Jason Kidd came in here, rallied these guys together. They get along. The bench mob thing. This unit is really, really close. They get along really well. You don't find that everywhere. And I get this is a business, but this is a group that can win and that gets along very well. No state income tax either. Yeah, maybe the Knicks offer a huge contract, but you're going to lose a decent amount of that money living in the state of New York. Obviously, he's going to have $100 million, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, but it's just a fact that if he signs a similar contract in Dallas, he'll keep more of that money. Cons of staying in Dallas: never going to be the number one option. We know that as long as Luka Doncic is here. At best, he'll be a number two, so that probably comes into play. Not in terms of just not being a number one, but not always being the primary ball handler either. He won't get that opportunity super often. Less room to grow because of that. Listen, I think his ceiling in Dallas is probably an all-star. I don't know if he could become a superstar if he was the primary creator somewhere else, but maybe there's a chance of that, so maybe that plays a role in his thought process. And then number three, obviously, if you stay in Dallas, you don't get to go play for your dad, Rick Brunson. That's obviously a good opportunity if you are Jalen. So those would be some cons if he decided to stay. Pros and cons for the Knicks. Pros. Number one, if they're paying him this type of money, they're saying, hey, you're going to be a star player for us. We're going to run through you. Our offense is going to run through you. So he's going to get that opportunity. Number two, he will get to play for his dad, who's going to be an assistant coach for the Knicks this year. And whether it happens or not, there would at least be a better chance of him blossoming into a superstar, or at least an all-star type of player. That's going to be a little bit tougher playing with Luka, who's going to have the ball in his hands most of the time. Cons of going to New York. Knicks, unstable franchise for the better part of 25 years. It's New York, but they have not lived up to those expectations that are set there. The pressure of playing in New York, the lights are bright. It's not the Brooklyn Nets. It's Madison Square Garden. It's box office. You got to deliver. Otherwise, those fans are going to run you out. You don't believe me? Last year, Julius Randle, second-tier MVP candidate, he was loved there. Less than a year later, he is hated there. That's how quickly things can change in New York. And then number three, less talent around him. Yeah, he'll get the chance to be the primary guy, but he's not going to have guys next to him that can help elevate his game. So I think that's relevant as well. So some pros and cons for each franchise. Obviously, there's good reasons to sign with both, and there's, maybe some not so good reasons to choose one over the other. Where will he go? What do you guys think? Who's going to land Jalen Brunson? Type DAL for the Mavericks if you think he's going to stay. Type NYK for the New York Knicks if you think he's gone and heading up to New York. More from Marc Stein here. The Knicks are increasingly expected to assemble a 4-year offer based in the $100 million range, sources say, after the former second-round pick played out the final season of his first NBA contract at $1.8 million in 21-22. When the season ended, sources said Dallas believed that a 4-year offer ranging from $85 to $88 million, similar to Fred VanVleet's deal in Toronto, would likely secure Brunson's signature. That would be in the $21 to $22 million range, whereas the Knicks are prepared to offer $25. He's getting at least $25. And I think that if you're the Knicks and you're desperate to get him, that should be the approach. Like, your offer should come in at 4 years and $100 million at least if you want to secure him. Anything less than that, he'll just laugh that off and return to Dallas. But they're going to sit there and average $25, maybe even $30 million per year to be the primary guy. Even if Dallas pays him that, he won't be that here. Maybe that's enticing to him. Maybe that's something he feels like he can't turn down, that type of opportunity in his career to be a primary guy for a team like the New York Knicks, who, yes, has been unstable, but is a historic franchise in the NBA. More on this in a moment, but NBA free agency, it's gonna be wild, not only for the Mavericks, but across the league, and we're going to cover it over on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. We'll be live for the opening night, June 30th at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central Time. Free agency officially opens at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 Central Time. We'll have it all covered. I'm sure the Knicks are going to make a big-time offer right away when free agency opens up, so stay tuned, buckle up, and we'll find out together where all of these big-time players go. More from Stein here. The Mavs had at least 2 chances before last season and in January to sign Brunson to a 4-year contract that exceeded extension, just shy of $56 million, but they backed out both times. Coming into the season, Dallas resisted on extensions for both Brunson and Dorian Finney-Smith, wanting to preserve maximum flexibility in case a trade emerged that required their inclusion. Rick Brunson told ESPN in April that he went back to the Mavericks in January to give them another chance to commit to 4 years, $55.6 million, but Dallas again passed. Although Brunson has not yet voiced that to the Mavericks directly, sources say there is a growing fear within the organization that Brunson covets the new challenge and broadened responsibility with the Knicks, even if Dallas counters New York's offer with an audacious 5-year deal. And I think that last part is important when discussing all of this. The Mavs can only blame themselves if Jalen Brunson walks, because the way they did this by giving him the 4-year deal as a second-round pick, it eliminated his restricted free agency status. If he was restricted, the Knicks could offer him $35 million per year, but the Mavericks could match it if they want to. They would at least have that option. If Jalen Brunson wants to leave, he's gone. I mean, that's just how this works as an unrestricted free agent. The whole they had a chance, 4 years, 55. Hindsight's 2020. I would have for sure done it in January if it's true that Rick Brunson approached the Mavs about reconsidering there. They should have done it then. Before the season, I could certainly understand the hesitation, but for sure in January. I mean, by then, you should have had at least a decent idea that you wanted this guy as a part of your future, but it's hard to say. I mean, the Mavs went on that tear after the All-Star break in February, so, things change quickly. It's just unfortunate, but the Mavs can only blame themselves. They made those decisions. All right, so how confident are you in Dallas re-signing Brunson? Before the last day or two, I was at a 90-92. I mean, I'll go 50-50. I think it could go either way. The Knicks clearly think they at least have a chance. I don't believe, and there's this idea that he's gone. I'm not there yet. I still think the Mavs are going to sit down with him. He's not going to just sign with New York on the first minute of free agency, I don't think. I think he'll give Dallas an opportunity to present their offer, but it could go either way. There's pros and cons to both, which is what we outlined. Scale it from 1 to 100, 100 being you're 100% confident he'll re-sign, 1 being or 0 being you think he's gone. 50-50 is where I'm at right now here on Friday. This is why you subscribe, because we'll have you covered on all of this around Jalen Brunson and everything else that surrounds the Dallas Mavericks. Don't miss any of it here on this channel. I'm Harrison Graham. We'll be back soon with more videos.